Governments come and go, but what the citizens remember is how much impact the government made on their lives. Positive impact I'm talking about in this case. Today on Weekend Deal, we're talking about the look that Nigeria is wearing today in terms of infrastructure, growth, and other mainstay developmental projects. There's talk about the second Niger Bridge. It's complete, it's functional. We also know about the Lekki Deep Sea Port. But what else do you know? We'll be highlighting the achievements on the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration from 2015 up till now. Welcome to our program. It's Weekend Deal, and it's always a pleasure to have your company on the program. Not to forget, our program is interactive. Share your thoughts with us. We'll be here to share them with Nigerians all over the world. My name is Thelma Obazable. Weekend Deal. When a government strides, talking about developments in infrastructure and growth and GDP and business and, providing policies and laws for the people, when it impacts them in a way that it makes their lives easier and better, many want to talk about it. Well, Francis is focused on a lot that has happened on the President Muhammadu Buhari's regime. Let's see this as we set our tone for our gist today.
As the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari gradually winds down, there is need to have a critical assessment of how the administration has fared thus far. One major area most Nigerians believe the current government has done excellently well is in the area of infrastructure development. In specific terms, the completion of the second Niger Bridge under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari is worth mentioning, as it will offer significant socio-economic benefit to the country.
That's a fantastic improvement on what has been before. It is historic in the sense that previous regimes, meaning going back to Babangida, to the 80s, that is 40 years ago, they conceptualized the project. They know it is necessary. But it's just a project. They keep tinkering with it. Every regime comes, they push the can down the road. That's one good example.
There cannot be an efficient transportation system without seaports to boost the economy. President Muhammadu Buhari approved the construction of 3 major seaports. Today, the Lekki Deep Sea Port has been completed.
The Lekki Deep Sea Port is a phenomenal project that we don't even seem to celebrate. It is the first of its type in West Africa. The most modern, the deepest sea port in West Africa. I'm not talking of Nigeria now. The value of the taxes and excise and revenue contribution directly to Nigerian ports on a yearly basis for the next 45 years of its concession is approximately $4 billion. It was conceptualized in the days of Jonathan. They didn't start the work. They started the work in Buhari's regime.
Without controversy, the President Muhammadu Buhari's led administration has recorded huge success in the rail and aviation sectors, respectively.
Lagos to Ibadan, standard gauge, is something you have to give to Buhari. I'm one of his critics, and you know so. Please, Give credit to whom credit is due. Give to Caesar that which is Caesar's. Lagos to Ibadan, standard gauge, is a marvelous infrastructure. It is modern. It was started in his regime, completed in his regime. Abuja to Kaduna was not started in his regime, but it was completed in his regime. Why you have to give him credit for that is because look at Warri to Itakpe. Warri to Itakpe started in the days of Abacha. Abacha, 30 years ago. Good luck didn't finish it. Late Yaradua, bless his soul, didn't finish it. Obasanjo did not finish it. Buhari finished it. Warri to Itakpe is his credit. Another rail line that we tend to neglect is the airport to Idu. It's a rail line that started under Obasanjo. Then Goodluck pushed it a little bit, but who completed it? Buhari. Then the Enugu airport. The Enugu airport is fantastic. It's an international airport.
In spite of the current economic and security challenges, President Muhammadu Buhari-led government has been able to construct and complete over 8,352.94 kilometers of roads.
Lagos, Shagamu, Ibadan Expressway, from the days of Abacha. What they do, they give contract on these roads, nothing happens, another regime comes, they reward the contract. Lagos, Shagamu, Ibadan Expressway is picking up now and is going well. Wharf, Apapa Wharf Road, because of the sensitivity of that road, the bulk of our cargo, 80% of our cargo, passed through Apapa. And there's no road. That road is being repaired. Apapa Oworin-Shoki, Ojota Expressway is being repaired. Badagry Expressway is being repaired. That's for Lagos. Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano is not only being repaired, it's being expanded, it's being dualized. Akwanga, Lafia Makodi is being expanded. I travel that road regularly, and it's impressive. Further up north, you have Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, Yobe, Borno Road being dualized, and it's going well. You have Akure, Ilesha Road being constructed, and it's going very well. You have Bodo, Boni Road in Rivers State, and it is going very well. In fact, there's even a big bridge on that road. You have Umahia to Ikoto Ekpene. You have Umahia to Umudike Road. Brilliant, fantastic. Not to talk of roads that have been completed between Enugu to Port Harcourt. Those ones are old stories now, because they are not his project, but he completed them.
A lot has been done by this administration, and a lot more still needs to be done. Therefore, our focus on Weekend Deal today will be on President Muhammadu Buhari's scorecard.
Very detailed, very in-depth. We're setting the tone for our conversation today. A scorecard of President Muhammadu Buhari's government from 2015 up till now. Now, let's go to Lagos, where Lagos Network Center is focused on the Lekki Deep Sea Port, multi-purpose, and it is the biggest in Africa. But let's see more. Please show.
The development of Lekki Deep Sea Port was conceptualized on the basis of closing a significant gap in maritime sector of the economy, initiated by the Tolerant Group. The Lekki Deep Sea Port, constructed by China Harbour Engineering firm, is a $2 billion investment in the Lagos Free Trade Zone. The project is conceived to be a key game changer in Nigeria's maritime economy.
This new port will position Lagos as a new maritime logistics hub, not only in West Africa, in the whole Central and West Africa region, while also positioning our country, Nigeria, to attain full economic leadership potential.
Lekki will also be able to take in more containers than some of the terminal operators we have, there will be more efficiency. When you digitalize system, it means that you have reduced human interference, human error, and it is likely to take businesses from some of the ports that we have here in Nigeria.
Given the expansion constraints on the existing infrastructure in our ports, the capacity in Lagos is incapable of meeting the growing demands. Upon completion, the Lekki Deep Sea Port has now become one of the largest deep water ports in West Africa. The strategic location, flexible and optimized layout with modern facilities, it gives Lekki Port a competitive edge over other ports. The port comes as a relief to the congested Apapa Port, which for several years has served as the only active seaport in the country and has been constrained with a lot of issues and delays in freight services.
I think Nigeria has great opportunities to expand its economic ability. I think too many people focus on the security issues here. I've lived and worked in Nigeria now 7 years on and off. I'm not exposed to those security issues. A lot of those issues are somewhere else in the country, and we can see that the government are doing a tremendous job in reducing those risks.
The necessity of Lekki Port development is very strong.
The sort of vessels that are going to be calling in this particular port, it's never been done in this nation.
The successful berthing of the first ship at the Lekki Deep Sea Port shows the federal government's commitment and readiness to take trade facilitation to a global level, optimizing the opportunities of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement to which Nigeria is a signatory.
That's interesting. We're talking about the Lekki Deep Sea Port there. We're being told is one of the biggest in West Africa, and it has a gigantic impact on Nigerians. In fact, in the years to come, there'll be a lot more things to highlight and celebrate. For now, we go to Rivers State, we go to Port Harcourt, and let's talk about the One port over there. How much progress has been made thus far? Port Harcourt, please share with us.
Aviation provides a rapid worldwide transportation network which makes it easier for global business. The Port Harcourt Airport over the years have continued to witness an upward trend in traffic. Prior to now, a single terminal was used to handle both international and domestic passengers. But the growing passengers and cargo traffic gave rise to the construction and remodeling of facilities at the airport to offer a hassle-free experience.
Port Harcourt International Airport was being described as one of the worst airports in the globe. But today, the story has changed. We have this brand new international terminal commissioned by Mr. President himself, then 2018. The height we were able to achieve on the remodeling was achieved in the course of Mr. President's assumption of office. That was done in the domestic terminal. That is, we have seen the touch of Mr. President in the two terminals in Port Harcourt International Airport. Our airline building was commissioned. That airline building was abandoned for more than 10, 15 years. It was abandoned, but it was commissioned last month. Port Harcourt, Kano, Enugu, they are brand new 3 airport undergoing certification at the moment. God helping us in Port Harcourt, within the first quarter of next year, this airport should be licensed. What's the meaning of airport being licensed? It's an assurance given to the entire world that our aerodrome is safe for operation.
How are the people reacting to the achievements recorded thus far?
There's been a whole lot, tremendous improvement. I'm well impressed. The airport is very clean. There are new infrastructures, there's AC, the AC is working, there's light. It's good to come into the airport and you see there's light. Unlike before, most times the car everywhere is dark and very hot. So it's good to come in and see that there's been a lot of work done. The airport staff, the customer service has also gone a notch higher. So I think they're doing a good job.
They've changed the facilities. Before now it wasn't here, it was the other side. But now they use here now, and this place is more sophisticated.
When you get into the terminal building like this, you will sit out, you see people, coming to poach you, do you need it? But now you don't see them inside there. Everybody is out.
Let the government also get their airline, which they have been promising us. to come in, the Nigeria Air. Let them come on board. When they come on board, they'll be able to drag prices down.
What are some of the challenges confronting airline operations?
Aviation fuel is actually what is affecting most of the airlines. They don't have as at when due, so they delay or things like that. So I think that is what basically what is affecting their schedules.
The Jet A1, the fuel is quite on the high side. Right now, even the fuel we're using to fuel our cars is on the high side. Everything is on the high side. So, but that notwithstanding, they should come down a little bit so that people can actually afford to travel.
Aside the Port Harcourt Airport is the Onne Seaport, one of the prominent seaports in Nigeria where shipping and commercial business activities strive. The Onne Seaport is one of the largest oil and gas-free zones in the world, supporting offshore and onshore oil and gas explorations. A large number of supply vessels call at the Onne Seaport every week. The berthing of the biggest container vessel in 2020 is a feat and indicates that Onne Seaport is equipped to receive all kinds of vessels.
From Port Harcourt, there's more to talk about the Onne Seaport, and a lot of progress has been made. Before that, we shared some information about the Lekki Deep Seaport. We're talking about seaports, ports in general, and that's why we'll get to welcome the Managing Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, popularly called NIWA. And you know the man at the helm is Dr. George Mogalo.
My pleasure.
It's great to have you on Weekend Deal.
My pleasure.
We've seen you in many places. Great to have you here today.
My pleasure.
And we heard a lot about what's been happening with NIWA.
Yeah, we are doing our best.
Interesting. Interesting. We talked about the Lekki Seaport earlier. Tell us, where are we now? They say it's the largest in West Africa, or is it Africa?
Let me begin by saying that we don't have control over Lekki Seaport, but it's our sister agency, that is the Nigerian Ports Authority. But I was also made to understand that it's the largest in West Africa. Okay, and it's a deep seaport. And I mean really deep seaport. And it's a very modern. You must not lose sight of that fact. It's a contemporary port, and I'm confident, like most people in the maritime sector, that it's going to impact very positively on our economy, very positively.
In the years to come. We
yes.
just can't wait. We just can't wait. We want to begin to celebrate that because there's been so much talk about
but
it.
There's a lot to celebrate about Lekki Deep Seaport. Yes, quite a lot. Yes.
Indeed. There's talk about the inland waterways, 10,000 kilometers, just over 3,000 being fully utilized. Where are we going with that? You talked about the commitment of the federal government. How would that impact positively on the status of things as they are now?
Let me begin by saying that bulk cargo all over the world is moved either by water or by rail. Rarely do you find bulk cargo being moved by road in developed economies. A situation like we have today, our roads are not designed to carry the weight they are carrying. The infrastructures are not designed to carry the weight they are carrying. That's why sometimes, or most times, you have the challenge you have with decayed infrastructure. I have said it time and time again. If you look at the statistics today, over 60% of containerized cargo that enter this country through Lagos or even through Port Harcourt or NE all end in the southeast. And if, for example, statistically put, if we have 5 million containers coming to the southeast, what that translates to is that 10 million trailers will be on the road because 5 million will take the containers to their desired destination, either on Nature or Aba and what have you. And then another 5 million trailers will also bring the empties back to the point where they collected it from. So that challenge is there. So there's quite a lot we can gain as a people if we move emphasis from the road to the waterways.
Is it safe to say that as NIWA is making inroad and progressing, Nigeria definitely is progressing?
Yes, certainly yes. We're a component of this nation.
And we are doing
so our nation, everybody is making it. The important thing is that let every person do his own
part,
so that we can all aggregate it together and then place it at the side of our nation.
I'd like to ask you in just a moment about the landmark achievement from January up till now. what will really give you cause to smile. But before we get there, there's talk about the second Niger bridge. In fact, everybody's excited about it because it's functional and is already making impact. Tell us more.
The River Niger Bridge in Anambra State serves as a major road connection bridging cities of Asaba on the west bank and Onitsha on the east bank. The first Nigerian bridge was commissioned by the then Prime Minister, late Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, and opened for traffic in December 1962. Since then, the bridge has been overused due to the heavy traffic congestion daily by commuters on the bridge. Being the only link between Asaba and other eastern states in the country, hence making the flow of movement almost unbearable to commuters. Based on this, the federal government deemed it fit to construct the second Niger bridge, which is being constructed across the River Niger, which span from Asaba in Delta State to Ozubulu and Obaru areas of Anambra State.
The second Niger bridge is going to help us, especially the congestion of this first Niger bridge. So it's impressed. I pray that the way they put it now, it will help in this season, so that the congestion will get reduced, especially the people who are running the road. They should obey the law. That's one of the things. But I'm happy when I heard that they are going to deploy so many traffic men on the road. I believe with this, they are going to be okay.
Well, it is well, we thank God. It's a blessing. I appreciate federal government, especially President Buhari. He is doing well. At least this one will ease the stress of the travelers.
This federal government project by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration started September 1st, 2018, and about 1.6 kilometers long to ease the suffering of Nigerians. The temporary opening of the second Niger bridge to commuters this festive period by the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, was a welcome development.
People are talking about poverty and the report of the MBS. You will see that the biggest chunk of it is not the monetary poverty, it's the multi-dimensional poverty. When you spend 2-3 days trying to cross a bridge, that's poverty. Because it should take you just a few minutes so that you can go and do more productive things. The solution to that poverty is now being implemented. As you can see, we're standing on the bridge. There's still a few things to be done, lane marking and all of that, but the bridge is finished. And those of you who drove on it, I'm sure you will help us communicate that.
The opening of the second Niger is a welcome development. I've been praying for a day like this, so I thank God we are seeing the move. It's a welcome development. I'm very grateful to God for this opportunity.
This large mile achievement of the present administration has both economic benefits and socio-economic development in Nigeria.
Of course, it has addressed the monetary side of the poverty equation, just as it will address the multidimensional side, because you will see machines, men, equipment, jobs. And if you come and ask the people who own land here now, they will tell you the value of their land has gone up. Nobody's going to take that money from them. So you will see the impact in the monetary and multidimensional part.
The second Niger bridge is a relief on commuters, the people of Southeast, and a boost to Nigerian economy.
See now, we are enjoying the road, but we are begging Buhari to complete the second one, the third one. Yeah, I hear that this is first one, second one, so we have let them complete the third one and the fourth one. That's what we are begging.
We'll take a break now. Our show continues. Don't go away. It's now time to let you be a part of a conversation, a recorded interview with the Director General of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Michael Ohiani.
The government of President Muhammadu Buhari has achieved a lot when you look at the scorecard. both in terms of security, investment, you name it. There have been tremendous investment even in terms of security. The kind of aircraft we now have and manpower, our soldiers, they don't now engage in what we call tactical maneuver to Cameroon as it were before. On that score, we can say he has achieved a lot in terms of security. There might be challenges here or there. You don't hear that Boko Haram is controlling any local government in the country. No administration has done so much in terms of, in recent past, when it comes to investment in infrastructure. When this government came to power, one of their core strategic focus was massive investment in infrastructure, which will also galvanize the economic welfare of the country. Since 2016, there has been progressive improvement. About 30% of the budgetary allocation is devoted to infrastructure investment, and it cut across power, road, which I'll go into specific, and you name it, both traditional procurement and PPP procurement. So a lot has been achieved. The commission liaises with the line ministry, who are statutorily charged with implementation of PPP project. And one of we have done when we talk about energy and urban infrastructure, we have completed the Gurarawan 300 megawatts project. It is located in FCDA. That will increase the energy stock. We also have the Zungeru power project that is near completion. We are working with Ministry of Power, Ministry of Water Resources, and Bureau of Public Enterprise to get it concession. It's going to be 700 megawatts, which is also going to increase the energy stock. The Senate recently expressed some concern. We've met with the leadership of the Senate. Some of those concerns has been taken on board, which will, in the final analysis, ensure that whatever is done is sustainable and it will bring succor to the power problem in the country. You cannot mention the power project without also mentioning the presidential initiative in the issue of transmission. You can have generation of power, but if you don't have the capacity to transmit it, it is useless. In that score, the presidential energy initiative in transmission, the Siemens project, where about $2 billion is US dollar is dedicated to the, you've seen recently that some of the mobile transformer has already arrived in the country. This will, in no small area, go into the energy improvement. When you also talk about infrastructure, you'll be looking at issue of food security. What this government has done in this respect, we have silos that are lying across the country that have been idle. So we've been able to concession them, about 22 in numbers, so that when our people harvest their crops, they will be able to stock it somewhere throughout a year or more than, so that anytime there is problem, you can have resort to that. We are also in the process of the concession of the pipeline network and the depots of the NNPC as part of their renewed Petroleum Industrial Act. In this respect, we are just waiting for the management to announce the successive bidders. About $6.2 billion will be brought in to galvanize this pipeline. So the issue of transporting the product will become a thing of the past. We have them across Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna. This is one of also the presidential initiative. The current government has dedicated 30% for investment in infrastructure, but we notice that that will not be able to meet our infrastructure deficit. What the current administration has done is to come up with different initiatives. In this respect is the Order 7 that give tax incentive for corporation to develop and rehabilitate roads that are in their needs. As we speak, you recall that Apapa Oshodi used to be a gridlock because of this has been done through the tax initiative PPP project. We have the Oworon Shoki, which has also been done. We have the Oniro axis. We have other ones that are in the pipeline. About 12 of them has been approved. There's the Obajana Lokoja one that has also been done through this tax credit initiative. The success achieved there, they want to also expand it to transmission line. What it entails is that a company will develop or rehabilitate such asset and net it off to the tax it would have paid to the government. Where the government has also used the sukuk to develop those are creative ways that the government has also established the infraco, which we also go a long way to. Then we have the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. Apart from that, through that, we have the Lagos Ibadan that has been problematic over the years. That has also been done. Then we also have the Abuja, Zaria, Kaduna, Kano, which is under construction and it will be done. What happened was that initially, because of the security challenges, there was a stop on it, but they have resumed to see that that aspect is achieved before the lifespan of this administration. When you also come to aviation sector, the president, when he came in under the able leadership of Senator Hadi Sirika, suffice the one that is under PPP, you have the MRO, which is first on its kind repair, so that you don't have to take your aircraft to overseas. All the sea checks will be done here in the country in Abuja. Federal Executive Council has approved that. There's also the aviation leasing company, so the first in Africa where local airline and other can lease the aircraft and carry out operations. Then we have the airport city. I will be in Abuja. We will be able to take advantage of the free trade zone. It will bring further development. Then we have the cargo concession in the 6th geographical zone. What it entails is that you can produce your cash crop or whatever this thing, and it's taken to Europe that very day. As it is done, you know that Uganda, they export rose flour to Europe. That very day it gets there. So what the minister is trying to achieve is to replicate such a model where you be able to transport a lot of our cargo from the 6th geographical area. Then we also have development of the 4 terminals, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt and Kano. All these are massive infrastructure which private sectors are bringing funds to invest in. Under the revised National Infrastructure Master Plan 2020 to 2043, it is expected about $3.1 trillion is needed to develop our infrastructure. And out of this, 85% is expected to come from private sector. And all this will be done majority through PPP. And we need to create enabling environment. So the president has really done a lot in terms of infrastructure, creating enabling environment, putting in the structure, completing abandoned projects. The second Niger bridge is also of importance to the public. It has been completed through the Presidential Investment Development Fund. What happened was that initially it was conceptualized as a PPP. However, when this administration came in, they reviewed it and said, look, this project is dear need. It links the East with the other part of the country, especially during the Christmas period. The suffering people are in. So the president now said it should be brought under the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. And you can see today that is unlike other this thing where you see it in HD photo. It's a reality. People are now using it. So it is a major achievement for this administration. Our commission was established by an act of parliament to galvanize and attract private sector investment, and in so doing is going to be on a win-win basis. As Adam Smith once said, it is not due to the generosity of baker that we have bread on our table. It's because they want to make profit. So in making profit, we ensure that there's no profiteering. So it is a win-win situation. That's where our commission comes in under Section 11 of our Act, that no investment made by private party will be jeopardized. Fund is a coward. It goes to a country where it's well protected. So if you invest in this economy, it is well protected. So that's where our act comes in, that whatever an investor brings in, it will be protected. So we ensure a level playing ground or field for both the public sector and the private sector. Moving forward is that the next coming administration, if they continue with the current stride of the government, a lot will be achieved. What the government has done is for the next administration to build on it. When this government came in, they did not abandon some project that was started by the previous government. What they did is to complete it, because it is the citizenry that will benefit from it. So it is incumbent on the incoming government that the laudable project that has been initiated, they should also complete it and also initiate their own, so that another administration, there will be continuity and will be able to have sustainable investment and sustainable infrastructure growth in the economy.
We continue to expatiate on our scorecard with special focus on achievement by President Muhammadu Buhari's government. And it's time to look at the story of the Lagos-Ibadan rail gauge. Tell us more.
The government, world over, is saddled with the responsibility of providing basic amenities for its citizenry, like good road network, housing, food production, and viable transportation network, amongst others. In Nigeria, various governments have spent a fortune on infrastructural development, especially in the railway transportation sector. However, the advent of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in 2015 turned the fortune of the railway sector for good. In an administration that has shown remarkable interest in infrastructural development and rehabilitation as a key to economic restoration, President Muhammadu Buhari's achievement in the rail sector stands out. From the beginning of his administration, railway infrastructural development has been given the priority it deserves and various milestones have been recorded.
I remember when we started, people were skeptical. When we started, I remember the first day, December 7, 2020, I think I have just 3 passengers. As at the time, people were skeptical. Is it real? Is it not real? But after some time, patronage increased. And I remember I've met a few people who told me that since January 2021, they've not used the road to Lagos. They come to the station, the driver drops them off, they go on the train, and that's what they've done anytime they're going to Lagos. So there are people like that who have not used the roads in this retired operations.
Many have described the railway transportation as one of his administration's greatest achievements in the history of Nigeria.
Looking at this current one, I think it's okay, even by international standard. You get to the Mobalaji Johnson terminal, you are happy as a Nigerian.
I've been using the train for over 2 years now, and really all my experiences have been worthwhile. Although the increase, we were not informed. I think we needed prior information because we just came and we just saw that everything had changed. All that. I think apart from that, that is the only fault of theirs. Apart from that, every other thing is okay. The ride, what do we call them now? Is it crew members? They are quite okay.
What inspired me, because I heard that the road from Lagos to Ibadan, precisely from Mowe to Lagos, there's gridlock there. So I believe going through with the train to Lagos, although it's the hours are more, but it is faster. Do you understand? So it inspired me to say, okay, let me come here and take a train to Lagos.
How has the project impacted the socio-economic development of Oyo State?
The rail station has exposed the area commercially and socially. Even as a Bale, I was made to believe that the land in that area, the land sales in the area has appreciated very greatly. So it has contributed socially to the development of the area. Economically, people around that axis, the workers, the people there, and the transport to that area, transport to and fro in the area, it has contributed progress of the area too.
Many have opined that the introduction of the rail system in Oyo State no doubt have opened many corridors for development, provide employment and better life for the people, helped reduce accidents and reduce the number of vehicular movements on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, thereby saving money for the government meant for the rehabilitation and repairs of the roads.
And for us, continuity is everything. That's why tomorrow we'll continue to share with you and expatiate further on achievements of the President Muhammadu Buhari government from 2015 up till now. Go ahead there. Have a great day and make sure you make a positive impact every time, all the time. Bye-bye.